We all miss our students, we all miss our seniors, and we wanted to see them. So being able to knock on their door or ring their bell.
I have something for you. Come on out.
And hand them a sign or put it in their yard was outstanding. Just to see their smile and to hear how they're doing and to know that they're okay.
I think this belongs to you, right? How are you? Congratulations.
I got to make a contact with those students that I saw every day, Monday through Friday, and sometimes on Saturdays or Sundays, depending on school events. And it was really a privilege, and it was nice to see them.
The fact that they were able to make that personal connection that day with those students, and it was a beautiful day, I got to tell you. It had been rainy, gloomy, like literally the week leading up to it. That day was a beautiful mid-60s, almost 70-degree day, and the sun was shining, and our students were shining that day along with our staff.
Our teachers are all clamoring to be able to see and work with our students, giving out diplomas to seniors. It's easy because all we have to do is simply ask our staff, and they come running to volunteer with their masks and their gloves on and whatnot. They're excited and happy to be able to help out. It became important to us to figure out how can we get them their diplomas, how can we hold something for them or give them this experience that still treats them like the individual that they are as part of this great collective.
Our teachers are some of the best, and I think part of the reason why is the relationships that they build with their students.
Hey Steph, couldn't be happier you came to Eichmann. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Take care, Missy.
Yeah, we're going to have a patio celebration right there.
On behalf of the class of 2020, I would like to welcome the parents, family members, friends of our graduates, as well as the faculty of our school, the community members and alumni to our virtual graduation ceremony, the 50th graduation ceremony for our fine school. My name is Matthew Buckley, and I am proud to serve as principal of New Berlin Eisenhower. We would like to extend a special thank you, as we begin, to Superintendent Joe Garza and the members of his team in our district office for all their help in bringing this unique and definitely unexpected style of graduation ceremony. It was important to us that we find a way to honor this class, one that has done great things during their time as Lions. To that, I would also like to thank our friends at Chameleon Communications, who have made all our recordings and this virtual event possible for you to enjoy. Every year at graduation, our senior choir students give us the gift of song. Today, our senior choir will present our national anthem, as well as a rendition of Imagine by John Lennon. Allow me to introduce our choir director, Miss Natalie Berchi, and the members of our senior choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red bursting, the bombs bursting there, came through still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today.
Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Thank you, Ms. Berchi, and to our senior choir members. At this point, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the proud legacy of military service in New Berlin. Our proud tradition of service continues as some of our graduating seniors who, like so many distinguished heroes of Eisenhower before them, will go on to fight for the freedoms and defend the values we cherish today. I can think of no better example of students who exhibit the qualities of active citizenship than these young men and women. As the proud son of a West Point graduate who himself was a career Army officer, I have firsthand knowledge of what life in the military and in service to our country mean. On behalf of our Eisenhower community, I'd like to recognize these individuals as we gratefully acknowledge their bravery and willingness to serve their country and fellow Americans. It's my honor to share with you those graduating seniors who will be dedicating the next years of their lives to service in the military. I would also like to take a moment to thank those watching who have given of themselves in service to this country. To our graduating seniors and our veterans, we thank you for your service to our country, past, present, and future. Seniors, today we celebrate the culmination of your years of learning here at New Berlin Eisenhower. The class of 2020 has been contributors to a tremendous amount of success in their time here, and today we honor you for your achievements. Before I go too far, I want to say thank you to the parents, guardians, grandparents, extended families, teachers, administrators, staff, coaches, and friends of New Berlin Eisenhower who have supported our graduates and the class of 2020. Eisenhower would not be steeped in a tradition of excellence if we did not all work together to make our school one that is so successful. I also want to thank my associate principals and Mr. Fitzgerald for helping coordinate and arrange the many details for this ceremony. From the custodial staff to our front office staff and those mentioned before, many people have put a lot of time and effort into this because of how much they care about our students. This ceremony itself is certainly not the experience we all had imagined a few months ago, but the format has no bearing on our enthusiasm for the class of 2020, nor on our desire to commemorate their great accomplishments. I've spent a lot of time thinking on what I should say to you as my last words of advice in these uncertain times. The words have not come easy, as there's so much to say, and we have unfortunately not been with you in person the past several months. There are so many conversations we wanted to have with you about the uncertainty of the virus, the protests, and how to respond to inequity in our society. But one day, as I walked around the silent halls, as I did many times throughout the quarter, I looked at the large banner outside the office that reads, "Students Today, Lions Forever." I realized I just need to remind you about what you have learned at Eisenhower so you can put it into practice because you've already been taught it. And here's a little secret. Learning is never easy. Anyone who tries to tell you differently is either lying to you or trying to sell you something. Before I get too far ahead of myself, let me be very clear to our graduates about one thing. Like a great movie that has a letdown of an ending, it'll be easy for you to dismiss your high school experience based on the ending. Don't. Don't fall into the trap of focusing on the worst part, on the last, on the part that will try to cloud and overwhelm the many great experiences you've had and the relationships you've formed, because you have had an awesome ride through New Berlin Eisenhower. Endless awards, victories, personal achievements, and a lasting legacy of success is what you are all leaving behind. This experience should make you stronger and more ready for challenges you will face in your future, because I assure you, where we find ourselves today doesn't hold the last challenges you will have to face. Thankfully, this provides you with more chances to rise up and demonstrate your resilience. If we've learned anything recently, it's that greatness will come when we keep growing and keep going, even when it looks like there's obstacles in our way. Use this learning experience to get ready to change the world, because you will change the world, and to be honest, we need you to. Today and in your futures, see the opportunities in every challenge. And in order to change the world, we need you to continue doing things using what you have learned here at Eisenhower. So, what have you learned, really? Well, the first is perseverance. You persevered on the athletic fields and in the athletic courts. You persevered in the classroom, through distance learning, and throughout quarantine. You lost senior year celebratory events, but you can still find joy at the end of your high school careers. We hope that you've learned to choose integrity. Be honest even when it's difficult to be. Always choose to do what is right, even when no one is looking. Don't blame others or make excuses for your actions. Stand up for what you believe, even if it's not popular. You've learned that you can create beauty because your class created beauty at our school time and time again. You created beauty with your voices. You created beauty with your art. You created beauty on the athletic courts and the fields and in our theater. You created beauty in your time in the Ike Cares Club, in NHS, and in the Change of Mind Club, when you helped others in need, supported your peers, and defended the vulnerable. You can continue to create beauty by choosing words that unite and inspire, not divide and hurt. Continue by sharing your gifts and making the world a better place to live. We all began this year in meetings where we talked with you about how all people have the right to be recognized for their inherent humanity and treated ethically. Dignity is given. You just have it, and no one can take it away. You have learned, we are sure, how to be a voice for those who cannot speak for themselves, I encourage you to stand up for the rights of the less fortunate, be a vocal witness against injustice in any form, and stand in solidarity to benefit others. You all understand and have learned, no doubt, about the power of being in a group and the hardship of being alone. Don't let anyone go it alone, and realize that we are all stronger when we are united. Your learning has earned you the right to call yourselves a graduate of New Berlin Eisenhower. Students, know that the Eisenhower staff, the New Berlin community, and your families are extremely proud of you. And so, Eisenhower is no longer a place you go. It's a place you are now from. Take from it all those things you learned, whether they were easy lessons or hard ones, lessons you learned in school or outside of it, and go be an agent of change in our world. I believe in you, and I am counting on you to do your best with what you have been given. Use your talents, whatever they may be, to continue learning and for the betterment of others. No matter where you go in your life, be confident in yourselves and be proud. Hold tight to the things you've learned, to what you love, and to who you are, and most importantly, to who you will become. You are finished as students, but you are Lions forever. Class of 2020, congratulations on your graduation from New Berlin Eisenhower, and best of luck to you in your futures. We have a tradition of having outstanding senior speakers at our graduation ceremonies over the years. This year we expect nothing less. I would like our audience to know that any graduating senior has the opportunity to submit a speech for graduation, and a school committee selects the two that will be given each year. This year, for the class of 2020, I am excited to hear what our students have to say. Our first student speaker will be senior Alicia Kanzra. You may recognize Alicia as a regular and recurring member of our many clubs and activities here at New Berlin Eisenhower. She's a member of National Honor Society, DECA, HOSA, and leader of our ladies swim team. She did all of this while balancing an internship this year as well. She's also a veteran of 10 advanced placement courses, an internship, and taking a number of college courses while still enrolled at Eisenhower. Alicia plans on attending the University of Wisconsin-Madison this fall with a double major in biology and health equity, which will place her on a pre-med path. Alicia has been a lively and positive contributor to our Eisenhower community during her time here. When I asked those on our staff to describe her, the responses I received were words such as driven, friendly, funny, brilliant, and concerned about others. Her swim coach, Ms. Bauer, shared with me that Alicia is the hardest worker she ever had the pleasure of working with on her team. Her work ethic put her in the top members of the team, and she pushed herself further than anyone could possibly ask her to. If she was given a goal, she always pushed herself and always surpassed it. It's my privilege to present our first student speech today, delivered by senior Alicia Kanzra.
It is very rare that a high school class is able to go through each season of life starting at the ripe age of 13. But lucky for us, this is our reality. We have been alongside each other as flustered, bright-eyed 7th graders who strictly occupied the rather questionable basement of Eisenhower. Although our math, science, English, and social studies classes were all located within a 10-foot radius of one another, we frequently got lost, forgot our locker combinations, or accidentally stumbled into a high schooler. We would feel liberated when we had our occasional C2 or gym class upstairs because we were able to explore uncharted territory. Now, as graduating seniors, I'm sure we can all agree that Eisenhower is just two big squares. Whether it was being exposed to high school classes in middle school or attending the same assemblies as the high schoolers, we felt a part of something much bigger than ourselves. As we transitioned into high school, most things, pep rallies, football games in the student section, and high school dances were new and exciting. Many things remained familiar. We found solace in knowing exactly where our classes were, having our close friends from middle school, and finally understanding the complex color day schedule. Though we thought we knew Eisenhower like the back of our hand, we were in for quite a surprise. From navigating honors and AP classes to juggling newfound passions in extracurriculars, freshman year was anything but comforting. I vividly remember sitting in the back left corner of Miss Feeder's 9th grade English honors class discussing the symbolism of the snowman in To Kill a Mockingbird. Although a trivial concept, the snowman represented the notion that no matter where we are from or how we are brought up, we are all the same on the inside. From a young age, Eisenhower taught me to think unconventionally, push my own boundaries, and be more open-minded. This idea stuck with me throughout high school, as I not only tried to create my own story that differed from my peers, but it also reminded me to always put myself in others' shoes. Sophomore year, the year we all got our license. I don't know if anyone remembers when we didn't have enough parking spots sophomore year, and as a naive 16-year-old, this was the end of my world. This was the year we were acclimated to the pace of high school, walking through the halls with a bounce in our step, most likely because we had the freedom of driving. Although enlightened I was able to drive, my spirits were often crushed in Mr. Restrepo's AP Physics class. If someone asked me to explain what torque was, I would honestly be at a loss of words. Although many physics concepts are a blur in my mind at this point, this class has taught me one of the biggest lessons of my high school career: perseverance. For some of us, it was physics. For others, it may have been math or English. But we have all sat through those difficult classes not understanding one word or studying countless hours to receive a disappointing grade. If it weren't for these moments, we wouldn't have learned how to fearlessly keep trying. This idea of perseverance was most certainly carried into junior year when we were faced with the daunting task of standardized testing and pressure about our futures. The load of junior year felt like chores that had to be checked off of a to-do list. However, amidst the chaos, little did we know that junior year was the year we started to learn more about ourselves. We were growing up, feeling our first sense of individuality, and figuring out who and what made us the happiest. Walking into Mrs. Cook's AP Chemistry class every day, I never knew what to expect. The energy of this class was unmatched, and I will never forget jamming out to our Beyoncé and Jordan Sparks playlist while doing labs. Mrs. Cook's challenging yet stimulating lessons encouraged heated discussion and experimentation, which helped me find my own voice. We all have had that instance, that class, or that teacher that was a stepping stone to building our confidence. Finally, senior year, the year we were waiting for over a decade, the year we promised to make the best, and the year of lasts. From our last sports games to our final seconds dancing on the shiny Eisenhower gym floors, senior year truly was the best of them all. Senior year taught us to not take anything for granted, lead with our hearts, and step out of our comfort zones. Although it was cut short, I only feel gratitude for what I was able to experience not only this past year, but for the past 18 years. I dived headfirst in my ambitions, I was surrounded by uplifting individuals, and I made lifelong friendships. Throughout the years, many aspects have changed, but there has always been one common denominator: the teachers. From coming to school before 7 a.m. to help their students, to staying after school past 5 p.m. to attend their students' sporting events or even coach them, the teachers of New Berlin Eisenhower have been the backbone of this community. Without them, I would have not grasped the concepts of empathy, tenacity, self-confidence, and gratitude as strongly as I did. On behalf of the class of 2020, I want to thank the faculty for their unwavering support. Your efforts do not go unnoticed. Of course, I want to give my warmest thank you to my parents. My parents are my best friends and my number one supporters. They have taught me how to stand up for myself, how to think positively, and how to stay grounded. Because of them, I am not afraid to work hard, dream big, and radiate kindness. Most importantly, because of my parents, I am not afraid to be myself. Class of 2020, we have faced obstacles, we have faced letdowns, and we have faced heartache. But we have risen above, and to all those things, we have shown courage, we have shown positivity, and we have shown determination. And for that, we should give ourselves a huge round of applause. In front of me are some of the most inspiring, fun-loving, and ambitious individuals, and I have no doubt that every single one of them will continue on to big things. Ultimately, the class of 2020 has taught me the biggest lesson of them all. Everyone has their own story, and everyone has their own journey. It has been my privilege to be a part of your unique stories these past 4 years, and I want to thank you for playing an instrumental role in shaping my story. So, class of 2020, I challenge you to embrace your future endeavors with open arms as you embark on the next chapter of your story.
Our next student speakers will be a pair of seniors, Anjali Nagarajan and Suzanne Bien. Anjali will be attending the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania to major in finance and entrepreneurship with a minor in computer science. During her time at Ike, she was president of DECA and helped co-found the Ike Cares Club. Her teachers have described her as incredibly good at working with others, a natural leader who can bring people together and produce results. She's determined and humble. She's described as a person who works very hard, but she also clearly has a brain that just is wired to think things through and make sense of things easily. She gets things at a deeper level, according to her teachers. Mr. Kern wrote to me that Angela is motivated, passionate, and always thinking of others. Her motivation in leading our DECA chapter was always about what was best for our school, our community, and our program, and because of that, she excelled in the position. She wanted to leave Ike DECA in a place where it could thrive even after she graduated, and she's certainly done that. Suzanne Bien will be attending Northwestern University to study global health and biology this upcoming fall. Ms. Falk describes her as passionate, inclusive, and willing to take risks. She was one of the students to kickstart our Model UN team, and according to Ms. Liu, the team's advisor, Suzanne has made a lasting contribution to our school community. Her strong sense of social justice and fearlessness will no doubt help her change the world. Suzanne created and led our school's first Model UN, and she possesses all of the qualities that we strive for in a college-ready graduate. I have never approved a dual speech in my 14 years at Eisenhower, but since we're in a year of firsts around here, it seemed like a good time to start. Besides, it's clear that these two will do a great job. So it's my honor to present our second student speech, presented by Anjali Nagarajan and Suzanne Bien.
Hello, class of 2020. My name is Anjali Nagarajan.
And my name is Suzanne Bien, and we have been best friends for the past 6 years. Without Eisenhower, we would have never met. Now, I'm sure that this experience isn't unique to us, as we have all found lifelong friends here at Ike.
Think of your best friend and give them a little wave. This is the moment you've been talking about all throughout high school.
While I'm sure this partner speech is unorthodox, we wanted to commemorate our friendship and toast all of yours.
This has also been, as you all know, an unorthodox year with the global pandemic. Despite this challenge, our class has still been extraordinary in academics, athletics, arts, and extracurriculars. But what is even more extraordinary is how resilient we have been in the face of adversity.
This wasn't the senior year that anyone was picturing.
We didn't get the chance to slack off in our second semester classes and go on fun end-of-the-year field trips.
We didn't get the chance to spend a night dancing with our childhood friends at prom and senior dinner dance.
We didn't get the chance to show off the skills that we have built over the last 3 years in state championships, spring sports, international competitions, and the spring musical.
And as athletes, we never got to have that last game. The game clock winding down, the crowd cheering, and the team enveloping the seniors in a hug when the buzzer sounded.
We never got to celebrate the start of our next journey during College Decision Day.
And finally, we never got to say our last goodbye to our amazing teachers and friends. Although this entire ordeal has been difficult to say the least, we would like to thank all the people who have tried to make the best of the situation.
To our admin, we appreciate all the effort that has gone into rescheduling our senior milestones and finding ways to give our senior class the recognition we deserve.
To our teachers, thank you for putting up with our dwindling motivation and technology problems. The dreadful Power School kitten.
And to our senior class officers, Emily Wang and Max Kunga, thank you for honoring our class the best way we know how, with social media.
Finally, there is one last group we wanted to thank, our parents.
Thank you for not only forcing us to go on family walks during quarantine, but also for being our chauffeurs, putting up with our constant complaints about homework, and coming to every athletic or extracurricular event for the past 12 years.
Yes, we did miss some major events this year, but there are also countless smaller, memorable moments we will always cherish.
Never again will we try to beat the yellow left turn signal at the traffic light or leave school as fast as we can with as few human casualties as possible.
Never again will we get to hear Miss Oaks' xylophone masterpiece every morning or hear the same songs over the loudspeakers during passing periods.
Never again will we freeze to death in every single classroom and co-conspire with our teachers to cover the thermostat with a wet paper towel, a trick the admin banned.
Never again will we use Rocketbook pens and Girl Scout cookies as currency as we form our own capitalist high school economy.
Never again will we get to jokingly quote or mock the school's slogan, "Expect excellence," whenever we see something not so excellent.
And for the kids going out of state or across the state, we won't have the little comforts of living in New Berlin.
The late-night study sessions at the library that morphed into cheese-curd runs at Culver's.
The therapeutic drives with friends way past the town-wide curfew that we never knew existed.
And the arguments with our friends over whether we should eat at Noodles, Qdoba, or Mod.
Picture the class of 2020. You might not know every single one of them personally, but over the past 6 years, we have all formed peripheral friendships with each other.
Whether we've passed them in the hallways, sat next to them in class, or watched them compete or perform, all these little moments made our Eisenhower experience.
If there's anything to take away from our speech, it is to cherish these acquaintances and everyday experiences because it's likely that you will never see most of these people again. But in 20 years, when you hear a xylophone or hear the words "expect excellence" together, you'll be transported back to the hallways of New Berlin Eisenhower.
We were hoping you would have indulged us a bit as we took a selfie so we could look back on this not-so-ordinary moment and remember how far we come. Hopefully, we can do that live in person on July 31st, but otherwise, here's to the class of 2020.
At this time, I would like to welcome Senior Class President Emily Wong to our presentation. Emily plans to be a Badger at the University of Wisconsin-Madison next fall and has decided to pursue studies in environmental science. Emily served her class and our school exceedingly well as class president, and there's no doubt she has an incredibly bright future. Her teachers tell me that she can brighten the room with her smile and she has a never-give-up attitude. She's a wonderful young lady and we will miss her. Personally, I relied on Emily time and time again to help me and her peers, and she always did with a full heart and a cheerful smile. Emily will continue a tradition here at Eisenhower of passing on the class key to rising senior and representative of the class of 2021, Mona Ganbarzadeh. It's my pleasure to introduce you first to Emily, followed by Mona.
In every teen drama TV show or coming-of-age film, grad speeches usually follow one format: funny anecdotes, then sentimental lessons for the future. Last year, I tried to do that, speaking about how the class of 2019 really paved the way for the success of our class, the class of 2020. It's kind of funny where that led us. This year, I feel like we've had enough with lesson learning. We've learned how to function on our own and how to keep ourselves busy. We've learned how to take classes online and deal with issues beyond our imagination. Our 3 commencement speakers have provided us with some great words of wisdom. All that is left is to reminisce, reflect, and celebrate. From 7th grade to senior year, picking up few people along the way, we've been together. I think that most of our past and present teachers would agree that the class of 2020 is different from other classes. Not different like the person who pours their milk before cereal, but different in that we are all so smart that it sometimes got frustrating. You got really excited when you got that 1-4 in freshman biology, but then you discovered someone studied less than you and did just as well. Not only that, but everyone is so talented. We have multiple students who are going on to play in college athletics. And music-wise, have you heard us sing? Some of us can melt butter with our voices. Don't believe me? Stream JAKR. Yet standing here on the stage, I can't help but remember how naive we were in middle school. We were separated into our little houses and writing bad papers about the Titanic. We were making friends that would last for years. We were scared to go to football games. We were posting cringeworthy posts on Instagram, tagging who could stay the fiercest. We were starting drama and gossiping about how she thought that guy was really cute. We were pranking teachers, using mosquito ringtones in class, and switching names for subs. Fast forward to today, and we're graduating high school, writing real research papers, goofing and gaffing with friends, screaming on the sidelines, posting selfies, not caring what others think, and only being a little bit of a nuisance to teachers and admin. My speech is one of the final obstacles before we're finally done. So as the class of 2020, we must celebrate everything that makes us special. Keep shooting orange balls into hoops and crushing it at all those other sports I don't know about. Keep cheering on the sidelines and being someone's best friend. Keep making music that becomes everyone's guilty pleasure and creating art worthy to be displayed in museums. Keep fixing broken Chromebooks that were most definitely spilled on or dropped. And keep engineering some robots or whatever it is you do with that. Keep creating business plans for startups and keep volunteering for charities and hospitals. We have grown up in the era full of chaos. And while we celebrate what makes the class of 2020 unique, we also need to celebrate what makes every single individual unique. So I just want you to keep that in mind as I say, class of 2020, this is our year. We have worked so hard, and I'm excited for whatever the world has in store for us, unless it's another pandemic. Congratulations, class of 2020. And now it is my honor to hand off this class key to the class of 2021.
Hello, my name is Mona Ganbarzadeh. I'm the junior class president. I want to say congratulations to the class of 2020. You made it. Finally, after years of watching everyone else get their moment, it's now your turn. Words can't express how proud I am of all of you. Feels like yesterday when your class got in trouble for, just kidding. You were the best class by far and Ike will miss you. Never did I think this day would come so quickly. I remember walking into Eisenhower on the first day, taking videos of you walking in so that I could make a video for your graduation. Feels like yesterday when we watched you scream your lungs out for the teams you grew up watching and danced your feet off at the after party and not even at the real dance. Time has never gone by so fast. If someone were to tell me back in 7th grade that I would be the one talking about the class of 2020 and I would be the one giving a speech for you to hear, I would have laughed in their face and told them how wrong they were. Thank you for becoming a part of my life that I will never forget. You brought smiles to many and you made everyone feel welcome at Ike. To the class that kept Eisenhower somewhat sane, thank you. So now all I have left to say is goodbye. Well, more of a see you later. See you later on my TV telling the world about the new medicine you invented for the common cold. See you later on my phone showing the world the first flying car. See you later when all the dreams you had become a reality. Thank you for all the laughs, the cries, the smiles, and so much more. Thank you for being our best friends, and hopefully we can follow in your footsteps. Class of 2020, I wish you all the best of luck. I can't wait to hear about everything you have accomplished. I hope you know that you are loved by many and you will be missed. Congratulations, Class of 2020.
I want to thank all of our student speakers for their work and their excellent speeches. It's now my pleasure to introduce and welcome Mr. Joe Garza, the superintendent of the School District of New Berlin and parent to 2 Eisenhower students, to congratulate and present the graduating class of 2020 to our school board for acceptance of their graduation.
As the superintendent of the School District of New Berlin, it is my honor and privilege to certify to the Board of Education of the School District of New Berlin that the listing of said students provided to you of the New Berlin Eisenhower class of 2020 satisfactorily completed all high school graduation requirements for New Berlin Eisenhower High School, the School District of New Berlin, and the state of Wisconsin. As the superintendent of the School District of New Berlin, I'm extremely proud to recommend to you, Board of Education President Amy Crosby, that all of the students in a listing of such students provided to you of the class of 2020 be high school graduates.
Please welcome another Eisenhower parent and the president of our school board, Mrs. Amy Crosby, who will accept the graduating class on behalf of the School District of New Berlin.
As president of the School District of New Berlin Board of Education, and on behalf of the entire Board of Education, and by the authority vested in me by the state of Wisconsin, I accept the New Berlin Eisenhower class of 2020 for graduation. I officially present to you the New Berlin Eisenhower class of 2020. Congratulations to all of our graduates and their families.
Is now. The future is now. The future is now. future is now.
You told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire we try to hold on. We built this ship together, searching for a home. Despite the storm that hit us, we're still on board. Dancing in the moonlight, the world just stopped and stares. We got no destination, I'll take you anywhere. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words just come together, story that we never told. So far you're shaking for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. I'll be your captain. I'll always be your captain. I'll always be your captain. You told me I'm your anchor, I told you you're my pole. Through the wind and fire we tried to hold on. All the doors we've opened and all the books we've closed. Words that come together, a story that we never told. So far you're shaking for my own. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. From our failures we have grown. You said just keep holding on. If you're about to break, I'll always be your captain. Be your captain. I'll always be
tassels worn on student mortarboards, commonly called caps, were originally designated to decorate the graduate's cap during the ceremony, but they've come to take on symbolism of their own as well. The gesture of moving the tassel from one side of the cap to the other symbolizes the individual's movement from candidate to graduate. Prior to the ceremony, the tassel is expected to be worn on the right. During the ceremony, it should be moved to the left after students receive their diplomas. This custom is practiced in educational institutions nationwide and signifies the moment when students have officially moved on to the next stage of their education. The tradition of turning the tassel can vary by school, but it's most commonly done as an announcement once everyone has received their diploma. And in this year of firsts, this is also the first time our graduates at Ike have had their diplomas prior to the graduation ceremony. Nonetheless, we will need to make this official, so I'm pleased to welcome back Senior Class President Emily Wong to conduct Eisenhower's tassel ceremony.
And now, graduates, please rise. It is time to move your tassels from the right side to the left side to signify your graduation. Congratulations, class of 2020. Best of luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and please join me in celebrating the newest graduates from New Berlin Eisenhower, the class of 2020. To end our graduation ceremony, I encourage you all to stand up, take off your caps, and join in with our students in a ceremonial cap toss. Congratulations, students. Best of luck.